Jacqueline Filorio and Jacqueline Ramirez-Neri bring to you the Latin Culture Experience. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Filorio.
Hi, my name is Jackie Ramirez.
And we are the Mexican American group.
And we have the section of activities that would engage our Mexican American students in the classroom.
Our activity would be either spanned out between 5 months or 5 weeks, just depending on the teacher, because we have 5 different Latin cultures that we go over. Our first culture, we mainly focus on Mexican Americans, but we also talk a little bit about Central, South, Cuban, and Puerto Ricans.
This is just so everyone in the classroom can get to know all the cultures in the Latin American countries, and we just wanted all the students, whether they are from these countries or not, to feel like they will learn from each country and understand each country as part of this unit in the Latin cultures experience.
What they'll be doing each month is they'll first start off about learning about Mexican Americans, and they'll learn about the different culture and food that they have, and if there are any Mexican American students in the classroom, they're able to bring in pictures, food, anything that they want, and if they want to talk a little bit about their culture, they can as well. And then the next month, we'll talk about Central Americans, and same thing about the culture, food, different things that they do. And students will use a Venn diagram at the end of researching Central Americans and compare the differences between Central Americans and Mexican Americans.
And this will go out throughout the whole unit. So then the next unit will be South Americans, and then the South Americans would be compared to Mexican Americans. So every single Latin culture will be compared to the Mexican American group, just because that's our main focus since this is our group. And they will be learning, as Jackie said, about their culture, their food, their art, just so many different things about the Mexican American culture, and also comparing it to how it differentiates and the similarities between all these Latin cultures. And
when students are researching this, they'll have many different references that they can use. They can use the internet. We'll have books available in the classroom, and also we'll watch some movies on the different cultures, especially Mexican American cultures. We can add loteria, which is a Mexican American game where it's bingo pretty much. You just use cards, and students can use the beans to mark off their bingo card. So just different activities and different and they'll have different references that they can use to research the different Latin groups.
Yes, we will also have, as Jackie said, we will also have maps as well, so kids will not only just learn about it, but they can picture in their heads what it looks like, what the country looks like, what the culture looks like, with pictures that either students bring or that we research, as well as pinpointing the geographical location of each country, or where Central Americans are, where South Americans are. I mean, I know I don't really know where Central American is. Is that like past Mexico or not? So I think that students will probably have their own questions, like maybe they don't know anywhere past the U.S., and this will help them learn about the world as well, so it just hits a lot of points.
We think that this activity is important because a lot of students don't know or understand the different cultures and what they do. So we think that this unit would be good because students will understand that every student comes from a different culture and they do different things. Like Mexican Americans, they have, on January 6th, they have
the Tres Reyes Magos, the Day of the Three Wise Men.
The Day of the Three Wise Men, where here we don't celebrate that, but students in Mexico, they celebrate that, where they leave their shoe out and then they get candy or different presents. So I think it'll be really cool for students to see the different things that students do or children do in different countries.
I also think that this would be very important because a lot of what happens in schools is that when an ESL student or a student from the Mexican American comes into the classroom, he or she doesn't feel like they belong. They feel like maybe it's not like where they're from and their culture is different. But this activity will help them understand that everyone else is trying to understand them and is not just ignoring them, or they won't feel left out. They will feel like they're actually trying to accept their culture and trying to bring them in, and this will make the student feel as if they're part of the classroom and feel like they can actually learn and achieve, whereas instead of hiding from learning or such things like that.
And to add on to that, it'll just make the ESL students feel more welcome. I think that they would be more willing to talk about their culture and feel more excited about being able to participate in the class, where a lot of our ESL students don't participate in the class either because they don't know the language or they're nervous. So I think this would really help them open up.
This activity can also help other students who are maybe not from a Latin culture, maybe from Europe culture or from a Chinese or Asian culture. They could also probably open up to the teacher and say, well, we could do something like this for our culture as well, and then the teacher can set up a cultural experience of that as well. And then we also had different activities, like maybe the teacher could have the students build their own piñata, or they could have a piñata at the end of the unit of the Mexican American group, or at the end of the whole thing, where students can learn the song, learn the tradition of the piñata, and get to experience that one-on-one instead of just learning about it.
So that wraps up our presentation. We hope that you enjoyed and got some good ideas that maybe you can use in the future.
And there's also, if you want more activities or ideas, you could always search the internet. There's tons of them everywhere and all around. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, I will keep on about.
We can go on about what?
The other activities, like maybe start focusing on or why we think this activity is important.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of went on a little.
That's okay.
We can have games like lotería, things teachers could research, and there's just the internet is filled with different activities. Thank you.
Okay.
Just, I'm gonna edit that, but I don't know what to say. So, just thank you. Okay.